Hi everyone, and welcome back to Flight Sim 24. Today in this video, we're going to take a look at an old local legend, the Boeing 307 Stratoliner. Now, if you played Flight Sim 2020 and you have this plane, or even if you don't, it came out in 2023, I believe in the summer. And it was Local Legend 10. And back then I did like the plane, but when I flew it, I had some issues off and on. Like, I don't know, it's like when I would take off, sometimes it would just kind of start diving and doing weird things. But I have to say, I've flown this plane about 3 times in Flight Sim 24, and it's been a lot of fun. And the issues I had with the plane are not present anymore. Now, I don't know if it was updated or not, but it's really been fun to fly. Okay, so I'm also going to show you how to start it and how to fly this aircraft fully from one place to another. Okay, we're going to even do the approach and stuff like that. And right now I am on the far east coast of the UK, and it's just before sunrise. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and board the aircraft and get it ready to go. Okay. You don't have to worry about any Flight Sim 24 features in this, but I like those features, with the chocks and things like that. Makes you go around and do your checks. Okay, but we now have to do that here on a lot of these aircraft, the original 2020 aircraft. But this plane works really good in Flight Sim 24. So let's go ahead and climb aboard, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do to get the plane ready to go. Now, I'm going to go through the checklist, but you don't have to always. Once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that checklist. All right. Parking brake. I'm going to just go right on through. Okay, and it's set right here. Okay, service switches. Now, what this does, the service switches, when you press it, it's going to open the door. Okay, now let me show you that door. All right, you see the door down here? It's right there. Okay, and then you will see a stewardess standing outside by the door. We'll go take a look. All right, so that's the service door. When you open it, you can see it right here. Okay, there you go. And you can board the aircraft, passengers and stuff. All right, so now that you put it on, just I'll part of your pre-flight, but you obviously don't have to. But it's just for mostly for looks. Fuel truck switch, and right here, look, fuel truck. There's your fuel truck hooked up to it. Okay. All right. So now let's go to. This is still going to be out of the pre-start. All right. Battery, and you're going to put this on ground power. Okay. Now back here is all of your instruments here and your fuel gauges. I'm going to show you right here. If you go to cameras, and you can obviously set this on a quick key if you want, but I just know it's number 6. Okay, so but when you press this, it'll just bring you there. So battery, all right. So battery right here, you're going to put this on ground. It starts off, you just pull it down, and it's on ground. Okay. Fuel quantity, you're going to check this fuel quantity. Okay, which is right here. Let me show you here. Fuel. Okay, so we have a half a tank, left main, right main. Okay, and 452 gallons. That's max fuel, full tank. All right, so you have what, 904 gallons total the aircraft can hold. We're gonna fly this aircraft across the English Channel. It's gonna be a short flight. I believe it's only like 30 something nautical miles. Looks like it's maybe about a 12-15 minute flight, something like that. All right, so yeah, fuel quantity is checked. All right, now gear, obviously it's down, it's right over here. All right, navigation lights, we're going to put those on. Okay, right here. There's your switch. And once you do this about 2 times, if you fly it often, you'll be so used to all of this. It's like you won't have to even go through the checklist, but I like doing it. Okay, beacon light, you can turn that on too. All right, landing lights. And we have the landing lights off. Those are around here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember exactly where they're at. Landing lights. Oh, landing gear. They're around somewhere right here. Landing lights. Okay, they're both off. All right. So, like that. Flaps switch is off. You can go down, up, off. Okay, and so it's off. Max RPM on the prop controls. You can see 100%. Fuel tank levers. All right, main. Okay, now this is a problem I first had when I started flying this aircraft. I didn't set these on main. Okay, I think I just put them, I don't know, one of these settings, but you want to put them on main. I'll have to be on main, okay? Or you will never get a start, all right? So now let's go down. Mixtures, you want them full rich, which they already are by default, okay? Pitot heat. Pitot heat, we're going to put that on in right here. It's kind of hard sometimes to see these little switches, so you just got to look. Okay, put that on. Trims neutral right here, 0%, 0 degrees, okay? Altimeter, we're going to set the altimeter, all right? You can set it here or just press the hotkey. All right, so altimeter is good. Autopilot is off in. Now let me show you here too this switch, okay? If for some reason you've flown this plane in the past and you forgot, hopefully this video will help you. Okay, so right here, radio switcher. Now this is classic or modern. You can switch. This is modern. Okay, you can see the Garmin's right here. Okay, we have the 430 and the 530. All right, and if you put it right here, you'll just have, you know, the classic. So we're gonna do modern, okay? And autopilot off, and it is off. It's just right here, okay? Inverters on. Now inverters, I do have to kind of look for these. Now let's see. Let me go around here. See exactly where they were at. Inverters. I remember having trouble finding these. Oh, right here, okay? You want to put that on auto, on whatever, okay? Because you can see when you do this, that's the inverter, okay? So that's all for the pre-start, all right? Now engine start, okay? So first, this panel right here, what you want to do is, if you move these switches up, you'll be engine 1. You move them down, engine 2. Then down here, engine 3, up, engine 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we're going to turn our boost pump on, engine 1. Okay, first you do the boost pump. All right. Okay, now the primer. And now the starter. You wait 5 seconds. And then you turn the magnetos on both. All right, and we hear that engine firing up. Let's put it louder because you're always going to want to hear that. There you go. That engine's going, okay. So now let's start the other engines, which will be the same way. You start with number 2, okay? So what you do, boost. Then primer, then start, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you go both, and then you can hear it. Okay, there it is, engine 1 and 2. All right, so now we're going to go on to 3 and 4, all right, the same way, so we don't have to even go through all this, okay? We can just go right on and start the engines, all right? Boost, primer, starter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, both. And engine 3 should be coming to life. And you can see it sure is, all right? So now let's do number 4. Okay, so boost. Prime. Start. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and you see they automatically will shut off once they crank up. So we have a good start of all 4 engines. All right. Now warm up. Okay, fuel truck and service switch. You're going to put these both off. All right, now. Okay, so those are off. We'll go through this. We'll just check them here. All right. So I know I didn't, forget anything. All right. Now warm up. Okay. The battery switch. Okay, we're gonna switch this to battery now. Okay. So I'm gonna off battery. Okay. Now generators. That's gonna be 2 switches right over here. Engine generator 1, engine generator 2. Instruments, you're just checking the instruments, right? Throttle, then we're going to set the throttle to 1500 RPMs. Okay, you see right here, we're going to pull it up to 1500. All right. Mag check. It's when you can turn them from left to right to check those, okay? But we're gonna just go ahead and take that for now. Now doors, check, close. We do have them closed. Radios, frequency set, turned on, okay? And once I turn on my avionics switch, which is, I should mention that also, it's up here. You see right here? Let's turn that on. Now the Garmin's will boot up, okay? And tail wheel lock, all right? And this is what we call your taxi. You want to put this off, okay? It's off right now by default, all right? Flaps as required, okay? And trims and neutral, parking brake off. So we just have a few more things to go through before we take off, all right? And also, let me see. I would like to get my let's see, my lighting on, okay, just for now. No smoking, all right? See that the gauges are lit up here, passenger cabin, and fuel booster pumps. You can turn these on before you start. Like if you go to start and you don't get a good start, you can try turning those on, but that's actually not even on the checklist. All right, so let's let it search. And transponder, we're just going to put that on standby. All right, so let's take a look now at the EFB, and I'm going to show you exactly where we're going, okay? So we're just going to do a short flight right over the English Channel. We're going to land right here. This is kind of like almost a straight shot right on in. If you look right here, when I follow this course, we're going to be right on in. But I'm also going to use the autopilot because there was a couple of things about it, like you want to get a little close to your route before you enable it, or just at least heading in that direction. Once it gets really, really close, then it'll line up and start following the course. When I first started flying this aircraft in 2020, I had trouble getting it to follow the course on autopilot. All right, so we look good now, all right? All right, let's do this. And we're going to be taking our parking brake off here shortly. And I'm going to taxi down to the end here, which is, let's take a look a little bit closer where I can see what runway this is going to be. All right, so that is, well, it doesn't really say, but we'll see once we get there. Oh no, here it is. Runway 21. Okay, so it's going to be right over here. That's the end of it. All right, so parking brake is right over here. Let's see, right here. It's a little hard to see it. Just kind of look here. Okay. Let's toggle it off, and we'll start turning. get the taxi in. I'm going to do this flight without ATC for now, so you know we can concentrate on flying the aircraft. And if you see, if you keep it at 1500 RPMs, it goes at a really good taxi speed. You see how it is here? And you just have to tap the brakes just a little bit here and there just to kind of keep it under control so it doesn't get away from you. And I find it doesn't need too much runway to take off either. And sometimes if you find there's quite a bit of wind, you might want to pull back on your yoke here so you can get that tail wheel. Make sure that the tail wheel stays on the ground. This is live weather, but not live time, okay? You know, I could have went right there on that taxiway, but this plane is really big, you know? I don't think it's going to even... I think those wheels would be more like in the grass right there. I mean, look how narrow that taxiway is. It's really, really narrow. It's a small airport for this aircraft. It really is. But it'll work just fine. Alright, let's try to get it. You have to get on those brakes pretty good too to get it to turn, do a tight turn. Alright, let's go ahead and hold just right here. And now let me just set this altitude at about 4,000. Let's check to see. Oh no, let's see. It's only, you know, it only recommends what, 3,000 feet for this flight, but we're gonna do 4 maybe. All right. Okay, so all that's left to do now. Takeoff is full throttle and we're ready to go. Okay. And see, climbing, you want to maintain your airspeed between 130 and 170. Here up, flaps up. Cruise. So it just shows some information here. Nothing major. Approach would be about 140, but I go slower a lot of times when I'm landing. Okay, you see airspeed 100 and then 90. So those numbers, you do kind of want to remember those numbers because you're going to need it when you're landing. Alright, so let's go ahead and go. Alright, take off the parking brake. And fasten seatbelts. Oh, did I not take? Oh yeah, I already had it off, okay. And I'm not using any flaps for takeoff. It's not really needed. Drift to the, so I'm going to bank a little bit to the right. Now you see, I never touched the yoke at all. No rotate whatsoever, and it just took off on its own, okay? Now, gear, we're going to get the gear out. Keep a shallow climb here, and now I'm going to turn out to the east. You got to be careful too once you take off. You don't want this aircraft to stall, so you want to start trimming down right when you get up, because if not, it will stall. And that was a problem I had when I first started flying the aircraft. It would stall. Now, if you watch my channel at all, you will know that this is a big plane compared to what I usually fly normally. But I fly all the planes, but a lot of times I'll fly seaplanes. Mostly seaplanes. Alright, so we're intercepting this. Now, all you really need to do is make sure this is on GPS. Okay, now let's see if it lines itself up, okay? If not, I'm going to turn along with the course again. Because we see how we kind of going off. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, we're going to have to get a little bit closer. And we are already at 3,000 feet, looks like here. Alright, so rather than climb, we're going to come back a little bit more here. Because visibility is not too good. I'm adjusting the trim as needed right now. And we're just a little over half throttle right now. Right, so now I'm a little bit straight, flying a little bit straight, more on course, and I'm going to also, autopilot is off, but I'm going to enable it in just a minute. Zoom out our wings on here so I can see a little bit more of the final destination airport. Okay, so now if I enable autopilot, normally it'll pick up that course, and right when it gets close it should start turning slightly to the left. Let's see if it does. Okay, we're going to hold the altitude as well. So I'm looking for a slight left turn. Should be doing it shortly. I'm thinking right around now. So, now, sometimes I've had issues with it intercepting the course, but let's see if it'll do that left turn. If not, I'll adjust it myself. Not quite yet, so let's see if we can get it following the course a little bit better. It's a short flight, so it's not too big of a deal. I can't get that to do like I want it. All right. Now, right here in this EFB, I did not put. I don't know if I even set this, but I don't think I have to do this because it, you see, includes a VFR pattern, so it doesn't usually work like that. It's like with some of the planes, when I noticed when I try to send it from the EFB to the avionics, it's not always gonna enter everything in here. And it's your message. Just like, you know, as long as you use these, which we know are in several aircraft, the 430 and the 530, then you'll know what all of this does. So I'm probably just going to, you see, I don't know if it's really still following the course like I want it. Let's see. Oh, it might be. It might be. It might be. I'm not really sure, but it looks like it's going a little bit south of the course. But we on over the you know, the middle of about halfway over the English Channel right now, and my speed looks like it's a little bit slower than what I want it to be. So let's go ahead and get that thing. Yeah, I think it's following the course. I believe it is now. Now, when you want to come up here to the cameras, if you want to see a little bit better view, right there, okay? And yeah, it doesn't, you see, it's not really totally like I want it. You see here? Now, last time that happened, I never had my GPS it was on the other mode right here. So let's just try this again here. And once I set it on GPS, it was just fine. But right now, it looks like it's not quite intercepting it. So it is pretty cloudy out here, but it's not affecting this VFR flight because I think I'm low enough, 3,000 feet, but those clouds do look kind of low up ahead. We'll see. So let's see if we can kind of do a turn ourselves here a little bit. You can see right here, I mean, this is only, range is set at only 5 nautical miles, so you can see, you know, you get a better look at this aircraft not on this course here. It's not right on it. You can see it's a little off. So, but it was doing just fine last time I used it. Once you get it to follow it, it's usually hands off and it does a good job. It might be now. No, it still don't quite look like it. See, I'm at 2. You can see it's a little off. But when you go to 10, it looks like it's right on it. And we are at 4,000 feet. So we should start seeing the far west coast of France really soon. And you can see it a little bit. It's a little bit hard, but you can see it right here. But it's a little hard over here to see because of the clouds and just the overall visibility. So without it following the course, it might be a bit hard to do my approach, but let's see if we can set something up here. Okay, we're not going to activate it just yet, but we will probably soon. But see, looks like it's going to have us coming around something here, which I want to kind of go straight in on that runway rather than go around, transition from here and go around. It looks like that's what it's want me to do. But I thought runway 13, yeah, 13 is right here. I don't know what other runway is in the east there. So let's go ahead and try to keep it on course. I'm going to come out with this a little bit so I can get a better idea. Oh no, it is. I am kind of like going right on in. All right. Sure am. See, I was thinking I was kind of lined up right here, but I'm not. All right, so yep, not lined up there. That's fine. We'll just come right on through. Let's do this. Activate. Let's see if we can get it to follow this. May or may not. We will see. But I'm also going to descend some. So now let's start our descent. And I'm going to take the autopilot off because I'm gonna follow this down. I want to start descending some But you know what? I'll tell you what I could do instead. Let's just set this at about 1,500. See if we can get to go about 1,000 feet. And we're gonna have to slow down just some here. See if it's following the course. And it doesn't look like it is totally. So let's go ahead and we're going to have to disable the autopilot because I want to do that turn and come around the other direction. So let's do this. Come on here so I can get a better look. I'm going to kind of go right here and I'll come in from that direction, okay? But I do find that this plane really stable, but I am used to a lot of the smaller aircraft, so that could be part of the reason why I find it more stable than others. So we're about 3,000 feet. We'll hold this right here. Just slight descent angle right there. Get some more speed. Yeah, you know, the last two fights, it followed the course just fine. Sometimes I do notice, like I said, I have trouble getting it. You know, even not just the approach on any of the nav modes here. I can't get it to follow it sometimes. So let's see. Let's try it right here. Let's see if we can get to do that now. And it might. We'll see. I think I got. Oh no, not that's not on. Right here. So if it doesn't do a left turn and intercept this properly, then I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh, see, it is now. Okay, I never touch it, so I think it is kind of lining up. Let's see. Maybe. Yes, it is. Okay, that's good. So now we are following. Okay. You see, now I never did anything different, but I'm on nav rather than approach. So I didn't do anything different than before. Just sometimes I've had issues with hitting it follow. But other than all of this plane has been great. You know. It's been pretty good compared to how it was when it was released in 2020, a couple of years ago. Okay, so there we are. Let's see. I think we are descending still, and I want to hold this altitude right now. I don't want to go too much lower than 2,000 feet just yet. And look at this. Sunrise here. Getting a little slow, but I think this is good. I don't want to go too much slower than where I'm going right now. Let's go a little more. Make sure we stay. I want to stay above at least 120. That's where I'm comfortable at. We're coming in here. It'll slow down enough once I get a little closer here. So there we go, we maintained 120, which is fine. Alright, let's get the landing lights on. And I will be dropping some flaps as I get closer. let's make sure we do this turn to the south, and it looks like it is. I'm not touching it. It's doing it on its own. Okay. And we're gonna get this and zoom this out a little bit. There we go. I just want to make sure I can still see how close I'm getting. Sure we're still following this well. It should be turning, but see, it's not quite doing that turn yet, so I'm going to do it myself. If it doesn't do it shortly, I'm going to do it. Oh wait, look at this. That's why. I probably needed it right here. Yep. Okay, so what you want to do is switch it to approach, and you want the V-lock on, okay? That's what you want to do, so it'll follow that approach. So once it switched to this, it switched this automatically. I probably should have hit approach, okay? Alright, so now let's watch our speed too. Alright, let's try to start descending a little bit here. Unless we are already at 1500. No, it's 2000. Okay. Sometimes I have trouble with this too. But it's going to probably do it automatically since I'm on approach, but we'll see. If I need to get lower, what I'm going to do, well, I mean, I'm already almost here, so I think I do need to descend more. Okay. Yeah, you see, it's not really descending like I want, so let me go ahead and start dropping that down a little bit more. It's 2,000 feet. If anything, it's trying to climb. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop it down now. Just slight descent. So I should get a decent visual of the airfield really soon. Just follow just straight and come right on in. Now, one thing I should mention too, the heading, okay? I have not found where the heading is on this aircraft at all. This is gyro drift. That's not the same thing. So I don't know where you set your heading at on this aircraft. I have not found it yet. Oh, right here. Right here. I knew I would get lucky one of these times. Okay, so yeah, right there. That's the heading. So if you set your heading and just click right there, you can set your heading. Okay. But I'm going to need a visual now because I'm not locked on directly to the approach, but I should be able to get a good view of the airfield really soon. I don't want to descend too steeply. And I'm going to put flaps down right now. You'll see the flaps coming down right now. But I could use some lights on the airfield right about now. And as you can see, we're still really far north of it. So let's try to get maybe lined up a little bit more. And we're still a little high. We're still at 2,000 feet, so we do need to start descending. that visibility is not good at all. Once I get down to about 1,000 feet, I'm going to go ahead and lock on that approach again. Which will be almost there now. So let's do that now, because I really cannot see. And we got to get some throttle into here. It should guide me right on in, and all I'm going to have to do at this point is, once I get a visual, I can go ahead and disable the autopilot and get the plane landed, hopefully. Make sure we get this altitude on hold because it wants to climb. Oh, it's right there. It's right there. And we are high, really high. I don't know if I can descend enough time. That's way too steep. I'm probably going to have to, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to go around here. Yeah. Let's get the flaps up. I had a feeling I was going to be too high, just too high. So let's go around. That's a good visual. I shouldn't have no trouble, but I'd rather go around than mess everything up. I think I should have been at about 700-800 feet at that point, and no higher. But it's not a big deal. Just going to kind of come right out. Try our approach again. I've never been into that airport before, so this is a first. Some nice beaches out here. Check this out. Alright, that's good right there. Alright, we should be good right here. So really, as long as you get a good view of the terrain, it's not that hard to land at that airfield because you can see how the terrain is, and it kind of lines right up with that runway. I'm going to try to do a side turn, so I'm going to put a little bit of water in. Okay, so yeah, right ahead, right here is the runway. So now I can drop the flaps. And possibly the landing gear too. Let me get it slowed down a little bit more. Landing gear coming down. Is it just retracting slow, or am I not getting it landing? Oh wait, no. You gotta make sure you go down twice, okay? That was scary. I forgot when you click it once, it's just gonna say off. So you have to go down. Now, green is solid, landing gear is down. Up here. I sometimes keep it there just in case I want to switch cameras really quick. Come right above these trees. Keeping that speed just enough where I can still keep the plane maneuverable. I don't think that's the biggest runway either. Closer, and I'm going to drop this throttle all the way back. This is a decent speed. Without stalling this plane, I'm trying not to stall it. That would suck. No reverse or nothing on this. So I guess that's okay. I'll deal with it. Oh man. Yeah, these tail draggers, you gotta watch them, okay? But this is a big tail dragger, so that makes it not so bad. Alright, let's just go ahead. Now we're gonna taxi right on to the parking. Let's turn right here. Get these flaps. There. Well, we have to push it up. They got to be up. If you just put it off, they'll stay like down. So you got to go. It goes off and then up. See off, and then watch. You're gonna see them retract. See how they slowly retracting now. Very slowly. But I guess we have the aircraft down in one piece here. Let's keep it at about 14 or 15 RPMs, and that should be good taxiing. We're going to park right off on the side up here. But I have been flying this aircraft the last few days, and I'm having fun with it. So I'm wondering if others, you know, haven't flown in a while, might want to revisit it, because it is a fun aircraft. Pulled up a little far, but that's okay. We can always push back. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and and we will get the engines cut off and the aircraft shut down. Let's turn our switches off now. Overhead is just right here, okay? So we'll turn all this off. It's just one click after another, all right? So this one go one more time. All right, avionics, we'll turn that off. Radio switch, oh, that's just gonna leave. All right, so now let's go right here and we will get battery selector off, okay? One more thing, let's do this overhead panel here, and we will get the two doors open. Okay, so welcome to France. Let's get out now. And so there you have it. That is our look at this old local legend, the Boeing 307 Stratoliner. So as you can see, there was just a couple of little issues I had, and most of it was just simply the autopilot. Oh, and let's do this one more time, because if you like me, you're going to forget. Remember, that heading selector is right here, okay? Right here. Just remember. So if you had your autopilot and you want to set your heading, you can do it right there. You know, and then when you want to come in on approach, just make sure it's on V-lock. Okay, so, and off of GPS when you hit your approach, which is like that on other aircraft too. But, you know, it might be a little bit kind of weird here. Oh, you know what too? The wheel lock, really you want to put this on when you're taking off. You notice how when I took off, I don't think I put that on. I kept it off the whole time. And so it's going to make you, you know, go left and right more of the runway. So you want to put this wheel lock on. Even when you land, it's a good idea to put that on, all right? So you see how I had trouble when I landed? I mean, if I had put this on, I probably would not have had that problem. But either way, I think it was a decent flight. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. And, yeah, go get the plane to flight. So thanks for watching. And until next time, bye for now.